I want to make sure that I don't.
Great start to the Facebook Live. Great start in the middle of the sentence. Awesome.
What? That's all right. No one watches in the beginning, right? I didn't even hit record on the podcast yet.
Hey.
Okay, and now we are actually recording. So.
Okay, what number podcast is this?
Number 5, I think.
Number 5, from the ground up.
Mm-hmm. Although I should have fucking recorded a little bit before we.
Thanks for covering me by your bottle. Awesome.
Oh, I should probably.
Thank you.
We good now?
Yes.
Okay, good. You happy with that?
I'm very happy with that.
Okay, you're a little blurry, but.
I mean, it's everything.
Yeah, that's true. Now hopefully it just records all the way through. That's why I want to keep this so it doesn't ever.
Did you change?
Doesn't ever
settings?
go off. No, I forgot to do it until we started recording already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to keep looking at it.
Yeah. But this damn mic, dude.
That's all I have to tell you.
Yeah. So I've just been thinking about what projects I'm gonna get into.
Okay.
As far as what to get when that tax money comes in, you know what I mean?
Oh, already planning.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what Reptile holiday is.
It's tax season?
Because everyone's poor, I guess, and gets a good tax return.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's usually when people make their biggest sales and stuff like that.
Very strange. But okay.
Yeah, but I've been thinking, I think I want to get a pair of het palmettos, corn snakes. Why? What do you think about that? You've seen the palmetto though, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember shit. There's too many variations in my head.
I mean, everyone likes the damn snake.
Is it yellow?
If you don't like this, you're wrong.
Because I like pretty much anything yellow. As far as
no, but it's so different.
When I think palmetto, I think yellow.
It's called palmetto because it was found in someone's backyard in South Carolina. Palmetto, like the tree that, you know, the South Carolina stickers and stuff, it's always the palmetto.
I never knew the name for that.
A palm tree thing? This thing.
Oh.
Come on. That's not like the most amazing snake you've ever seen. You're wrong.
I have to disagree on that one.
So if anyone hasn't seen the palmetto corn snake, I almost said porn snake. Mm-hmm. It's basically white with a bunch of speckles.
Is brown or
like
red?
confetti speckles and blue eyes.
Are those brown or red?
What, the speckles?
Uh-huh.
They're kind of gray, red, orange, but they're all different, and they all come in differently as far as different degree. Almost spilled my beer. Different degree speckles and colors of speckles and stuff like that.
So what degree are you looking for?
Oh, I'm gonna get hats, so.
Oh.
I'm
well,
getting.
mine.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll make palmettos.
Can you show me
which
a
is
head
good
one?
enough for me. They just look like normal corn snakes. Let me see. The ones I was looking at.
What's the purpose of I don't understand the purpose of getting a head. You can't see it, so what the fuck is the purpose in it being cool?
Because you can make them. That's the whole thing.
So you want to make non-heads?
Yeah, you want to make visuals.
Visuals.
Yeah.
Do 2 hets make a visual?
Yes.
Or is it what do a het and a visual make? Or is that just chance?
And so that just increases your luck.
A het and a visual increases your luck of it being...
Or a het and a visual increases your luck of having a visual. I wish I remembered in my head.
A het has a higher... a het visual pair has a higher chance of being visual than a visual pair?
No, visual.
Is the most.
So a het to a het's going to be 25%.
Okay.
And then a visual to a het, I believe, is 50.
Let's
go with that.
Let's go with 50, and then a visual is 100. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is there just no 75? There's not any other pairings you can do, so.
Right. Yeah, so it's 25%. Jesus Christ. 25% each egg if it's het to a het.
Oh, each egg?
Yeah.
Wow, that makes it a little bit more complicated.
And then also, the thing that sucks with that is that you get possible hets.
Right. You just don't know.
Right, so if it's a visual to a het, everything's going to be het. Actually, no, that's not true.
It just
Fucking
said
het to a
25?
het, everything's going to be het.
Yeah, het to a
I'm
het.
coming off
everything's
real
gonna be
fucking
het.
stupid right now. I
Het to
haven't...
visual is 25. You just said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, go ahead. It said the problem with het. Thanks.
Okay, let's go.
The problem with het-to-het breeding is besides the 25% that end up visual, the other 75%
Yeah,
will
will only be
possible
possible hets.
hets. You'll need to be able to tell which of the 75% of normal offspring got the het passed to them and which didn't. So you pretty much have to sell them at normal. Why wouldn't you be able to tell right off the bat?
Because hets aren't displaying anything that's visually different than a normal. For at least most of the Moors. And then if it does display something different, then it's technically in complete dominance, not recessive at all.
Oh, so I thought but you just told me a het just looks like a normal corn snake.
Yeah.
So it is something.
Yeah, but you can't distinguish between something not carrying.
Got it.
The gene?
Because it's a het, you can't tell if it's just a regular corn snake or like what you just made. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so you can't tell the difference what is a het and what's
So
not.
so you can't sell it at a higher price because no one can tell if it, like you know where it came from. But
Well, but I still won't know if it's carrying that gene or not. It doesn't carry the gene throughout all the offspring.
it has a regular corn snake.
Right.
And not have
With
the gene.
not even have the gene.
Got it. Okay. And there's no way for you to tell because it's het.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially, you either, like
So
with the
het to
Palmetto,
visual
you
just
may...
sounds shitty. Like, why even waste your time doing that?
You mean het to a het?
Yes. Sorry.
Because this is the parent to it, by the way. It doesn't use the babies.
Oh, because that just looks like a regular corn snake.
Yeah, I know. So I'm telling you, girl.
With what is that? They did a het to a visual.
Yeah, most likely, or a visual. Or no, it was a visual outcross to a wild caught normal.
Oh, you're getting
So since
you
the
are
visual
going over my grade level
since-
with that one.
Since it's a visual, they'll be all 100% het.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so this is like $1,070 shit for a pair. But if you wanted a visual
Mhm.
that was a year younger,
Mhm. So you could.
it would be like $1,500 for one.
You must be getting a lot of
So
tax return
it's a
money
much
there,
it's
buddy.
a much cheaper way to get visuals.
It should just go the step back and do it yourself.
Yeah, it's not preferred, but if you gotta do it, you gotta do it.
Weren't you talking about that with the guy we met at an ARVC?
Yeah, but
Does
that
it-
was much lower because if I'm gonna be, I don't want to spend $150 to try to make a $300 animal. I want the visual ready to give me the best chance to make something better than what he already had.
Oh, I thought you were saying you wanted to do kind of the same thing. You wanted to get the heads and make it show.
No, I wanted to get as many visuals as possible,
Oh, okay.
so I didn't have to go through all the time. But it's different with the Palmetto because it's only one. Like that had a bunch of recessives on top of it, so
This
that
one's
just lessens your chance so dramatically if they're not visual.
of getting it.
Or het for 4 things, and you breed it to
That
something
just
else that's
sounds
het to
crazy.
4 things, then your odds get really skewed. And
Yeah, they just crossed too much. So
Right.
this one's a straight up Palmetto, head, or it doesn't have other shit in it.
yeah,
Okay.
and then really, so like the price point on this is probably a little high still, but if I could make palmettos and keep all the ones back, like when this snake becomes like under $500, everyone's gonna be buying it.
Yeah.
It's like the best looking snake out there.
I completely disagree, but okay.
This is the coolest looking snake you
Completely
can have.
disagree, but okay. I think the guy had the one I love, the Anery, Scaleless.
And that's something I want to do
cool.
too. I want to do Scaleless too. Yeah, but why don't I just get a Scaleless and the Palmetto and make Scaleless Palmettos?
Oh.
But Scaleless is a little bit lower for price point right now.
But mixed with the higher Palmetto, evens out.
What do you mean?
You said it's a lower price point.
Yeah.
The Palmettos are higher right
Yeah.
now. So, why did you say but it's lower? That's a.
Because you kind of want to invest as soon as possible so you get a better return.
Okay.
As far as first to market is a lot better off than later. As far as because they go down about at least 20% each year.
Really?
The value of each snake because the supply goes up. Demand may stay the same, and maybe since the price point may go a little higher, but there's more snakes, so you can't justify having the same price.
Okay.
Although if you're doing a project where not as many people are doing it, or recessive projects, they're gonna go a little bit slower. Because a lot of the ball python morphs are incomplete dominance, so you can produce visuals on the first pairing.
Right.
Which if you're recessive, when you first get the visual, you need to breed it to, a normal or whatever you have, produce hets, and then breed the hets back to the visual. So there's a few extra steps. So it will go down in price slower, as well as because people are gonna, it's harder odds to hit, than an incomplete dominant. Right. Because you're gonna get that the first time.
And this you have to work harder.
Yeah, and people aren't that farsighted. So yeah, I would want, but pretty much all corn snake morphs are recessives.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is. That goes for a lot of the colubrid species.
I would be interested to know why.
I have no idea.
Something.
Just the way it happened. Just like albino is recessive in every python across the board. So it's weird because you see certain things are true all throughout, all the snake species.
John Chan's watching.
Hey, bud. I don't know what the emojis are. He just gave a wave and a male symbol.
I don't know. Does that mean hey, bud? Hey, man?
Maybe.
Is that what it means? Hey,
I'd venture to say so.
But,
yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? So a leucistic, which is an all-white snake, is almost always two incomplete dominants together, stacked on top of each other, to make an all-white snake.
To make it white.
Right. So even though some say that a, leucistic gray band king snake is incomplete dominant, if you look at the babies, you can tell which ones are het and which ones aren't.
Yeah, it's obvious.
So, or they say that that's recessive. But nah, dude, you can tell. So if I can tell
it's
visually,
not recessive,
then it's not recessive.
Yeah, that's the whole point of recessive is that you can't see it.
No, you can't tell 100% by that. Which, there's some people who can tell pretty much all the recessives in ball pythons, even just by looking at them.
Really?
Like het clowns are brighter in ball pythons.
So then how is it recessive?
Because you can't tell 100%, so they're not going to sell them as a codom.
But they kind of know.
Yeah. I don't know, it's a gray area, it's not science,
weird.
It's just kind of inference overdoing it over and over.
Right, after experience, you just kind of know how they turn out.
Right.
Interesting. But you can't, even though you can't sell it at the price of knowing.
Yeah, so if you have a ball python at a table, it'll be like, oh, this one was brighter. It's a possible het clown, but I'm sure it's a het clown, but I'll give it to you, $100 cheaper than what het clowns are usually, because you can't tell for sure. You don't want to tell someone 100% and then be wrong.
But would the person ever be able to know? if you're wrong.
Well, they're gonna breed it out.
Oh, and see.
They're gonna breed it to another heck of individuals.
Then
you're an asshole.
Sorry.
So don't be an asshole.
Then just be,
just
what's the word?
Err on the side of caution with that.
Transparent about
Exactly. So I can't guarantee, just like that guy when we saw the corn snake morphs, he says the links in this pattern are usually indicative of it carrying that het. But it's like, it's like, yeah, I understand, but, I don't want to chance it. I'm still playing an odds game.
Mm-hmm. And he was talking about he's going to continue to do more and see how it comes out and what happens.
Right. So, meaning like a $200 snake loaded with hets, and then the high end of that snake was like $300 with the visuals. So it's like, why not just wait and pay an extra $100 and get visuals?
The visual one later down the line.
Even though that's not the case with ball pythons, it may be hundreds of dollars between the visuals and the hets.
Really?
Because there's not, most of the mutations in ball pythons are incomplete dominant. But a result of that is that there's way too many of the incomplete dominants and not as many as the recessives, because people are very short-sighted, especially in that arena.
I'm just realizing more and more, like when we talk, the differences, the huge differences between like it just feels like ball pythons are like way over here. You know what I mean? It just feels like so separate.
What do you mean?
As far as like how they breed and how it works and what you see in them and the.
No, I think that's me making a distinction because
you don't like ball.
Because I'm lopping all of the things in one, being like, oh, that's ball python stuff.
Okay, never mind.
So, yeah, the genetics for the most part, in ball pythons are going to be true in a lot of the other pythons.
Okay. You just make it seem different.
No, so like, carpet pythons, there's many genes and stuff that act similar to ball python. So it seems like every genetic mutation you see in a python species may pop out eventually in another python. Mm-hmm. So it's safe to say, like, oh, that's a cow retic. Something similar is going to come out in ball python. Something similar is going to come out in this. Eventually, it will naturally, because it seems like that's in the spectrum of what can happen with a python. Which I'm just kind of connecting dots. It's not for sure, but
at some point, eventually.
But a spider is a jaguar carpet. Like a spider ball python is pretty much a jaguar carpet. And all the albinos are yellow and white for the most part. And
which is why I love them.
Yeah, and then you see colubrids, and then usually the albinos go more to the orange side in colubrids, if you've ever seen that. Which is kind of
either orangey or yellowy.
Yeah, so most pythons are yellowy. Like the albino olive is completely yellow. And then, the corn snakes are orange. Mm-hmm.
Just love everything on that.
Although in blood pythons, the albinos are orange. So that fucking fucks up
there is a well,
there's always outliers.
In everything. There's an exception.
There's probably
to
1,000 other orange fucking python, but I'm making generalizations here.
Who will watch or on Instagram or whatever, Stitcher, wherever we put this, can comment any other orange ball pythons.
You mean orange pythons in general?
Orange.
Albinos. And then some people call shit albino, but you gotta make sure that the eye's a different color. So, if you ever, like, albinism in humans, their eyes are always different color, right?
Really?
Yeah, I want to look up.
No, I don't want to
because that's
I don't want to.
That's one of the things to tell as far as, like, corn snakes, they have that red, pinkish eye. Mm-hmm. And same with them ball pythons. They all have a different color eye if they are albino. And then also if they're leucistic, a lot of times they'll have a blue eye.
That's weird. I've definitely seen leucistic ones, but I can't remember a blue eye.
Yeah. Albino human.
Tricolor, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Put in eyes specifically, because it's going to give us like...
Should I turn safe search off? Jesus
No.
Christ. This is so bad. I'm sorry
stop.
if anyone is.
Just stop.
But yeah, they have these like pink eyes, right?
Oh, I guess I have noticed that. Okay.
And then some of them are very blue.
Let's just in that now.
Whoa, that's super weird. Alright, don't Google albino human.
Apologize to anyone.
Sorry, albino humans.
We have no problem with that. There's just something that we are not used to and don't see very often.
Like elephantitis.
Don't know what that is, but okay.
You gotta Google that too.
Is that like big? The area of the elephant?
Yeah. Well, of
elephant,
a human.
or
But it can. Oh, I don't want to Google this.
Yeah,
this is gonna like haunt my
it's,
dreams.
It's
You ever see Elephant
it's a
Man?
part of a man that is very big.
No, it can be a part of anyone.
Oh.
I just told you about a specific one where this guy had elephantitis in his balls, but you can have it pretty much anywhere.
I wish everything was named like that,
like very simply.
Yeah, like if shit's small, let's call it mouse-titis.
Well, there's micro penises.
Yeah,
Those
but
are
I like
small
mouse-titis.
Mouse-titis?
Like elephantitis, mouse-titis, or whatever, any other thing that's small. Which is, or I like that way they were going with naming.
With elephantitis?
Nothing else is that easy. Everything else is Latin root and Greek root and all this bullshit that nobody knows. But elephantitis?
You had a hard time figuring it out. You thought it guys with big balls.
Well, that's just because what you told me.
Yeah, but...
But I knew it was big,
Some
because
stuff
elephant
was
means big, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh, we forgot to take Dixie's collar off.
Mm-hmm. Girl, you were quiet for a while. Okay, she's good.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that go across either species or snakes. Humans have a lot less mutations, but...
I wonder why in that.
For some reason, reptiles are just much quicker to evolve.
Really?
As far as, like, when species are separated by small amounts, they tend to evolve very quickly. So that's why, like, every boa on an island is smaller than mainland boas.
Mm-hmm. There's not going to be a big variation in those.
In what?
In the boas on it. They're all going to be smaller.
On islands, they're
Right, that's what I'm saying.
On
There's
the
not going to
mainland,
be
they're bigger.
because they all evolved and adapted to that quickly. There wasn't.
Right.
I'm saying there's not. You don't have some of different sizes because they all hopped on that quick.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
Well, they're all a little bit different sizes, but it depends on what food's available on the island, that kind of stuff. But the thing is that there's species that haven't been separated for that long. As far as there's localities of, I believe it's scrub pythons in Indonesia or Papua New Guinea, probably the second one. But they develop a high instance of melanism. So there's a lot more black babies there because the first time a black baby popped out, it survived better because whatever, maybe it blended in better with the environment, something like that. So that went out to survive and breed, and then the black ones kept on surviving. So now there's a high instance of black scrub pythons there.
Oh, I still don't get why that would be different for reptiles than others. I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't know. There's some like legit. I don't want to try to explain it and get it totally wrong. But just like you can breed snakes to each other, like related pairs, and there's usually no problems except way down the line maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to say about that.
What do you mean?
That if humans do that, they get all types of mutations immediately. maybe that's what it is. They breed and they mutate, but they're still viable mutations.
And like mutations that we like, in humans, we don't like the mutations that incest causes. We deem those mutations as bad.
Yeah, I'd say so. But they usually affect the quality of life for whatever has it. But snakes seem to not have. There are lethal mutations and stuff like that, and certain mutations that you can't breed to each other, and definitely mutations that present, neurological problems and stuff like that.
Mm. Like what?
Like, I feel like I've just said this way too many times, but spider ball pythons or jaguar carpet pythons, they both have neurological issues to where their heads are always kind of wobbling around, and some of them will even keep their heads upside down. They just don't seem to know where they...
what's up and what's down.
Right, they don't seem to have that kind of like equilibrium for balance.
I'm definitely gonna look up some videos of that later.
So if you breed the spider to the spider, if you breed the jaguar to the jaguar, you're putting together those broken genes, and it creates a solid white snake that dies.
Shit show, basically.
A shit show.
In the body.
Yeah. And then I think as you go down the line, when you keep on putting these mutations into each other without outcrossing at all, I think you're gonna present some problems eventually, for sure.
That's sad, but hopefully people are smart
Well, you gotta
enough
keep
not to
on.
do that.
Yeah, and some are more prone to problems than others, but it's all kind of trial and error. This whole snake thing is always trial and error.
You don't know until you try it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we're much further off. Much easier for me to do it now than the people who were paving the way in the 70s and 60s, even earlier than that. You know, they're the ones who were like, "How the fuck do I even incubate an egg?"
Same with
let alone deal with all this fucking mutations.
Same with the next couple of generations. They'll be like, "Oh, those people didn't know recessive."
Yeah, we're all fucking retarded now.
They're gonna somehow find a way to
That's
see
why,
recessive.
like, new keepers coming up generally look down upon how some of the old school people keep their reptiles.
Because they just found newer ways to do it.
Yeah, there's new and improved ways, at least that we deem to be more humane, or whatever the fuck we want to call it. But you got to understand that they've been doing this forever, and the snake lives and breeds, so that's...
If they're still being successful, and I'd say successful as keeping them alive, you can't knock them for it.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
They'll die off, and we'll keep on getting better.
You'll be
and then I'll be the fucking idiot eventually. Yeah.
It's just how life works.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think there's a reason to go around fucking... I don't know, there's just some people on such a high horse about haters.
Sounds like a lot of haters. And, I'm talking about haters to one specific person in the snake world. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, dude.
But we talk about him too much.
Yeah, we don't need to give that any more attention than that.
BHB and my love for BHB.
Oh, God. But I've just heard too many things about things. But when you have that many snakes, stuff's going to happen.
And people are going to talk shit. The bigger you get, what is it? More money, more problems.
As Christopher Wallace once said. Yeah, I just want to be the person who is very, if I do have that many snakes, forthright with anything, if there is anything.
When you get popular, that's not how you say that word.
When you get popular?
Popular?
I don't know if I'll ever get popular.
Okay, when you grow your business.
Right.
And hopefully we will continue this media connection as far as podcasts and Instagram and all that.
Right.
Are you gonna read the haters? Are you gonna...
No, you can't fuck with it too much.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
I'm gonna be reading the haters.
I think it's hard to not let it get to you, but then again, I've had it on YouTube, and I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny. It was just like a 10-year-old kid. It was something like, "Hey, you are faggot. Go kill yourself." And then some girl like defended me on the comment, and then I was like, haha, this is funny, like it's just a kid,
just trolling.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, like
you are faggot.
He's just some, like a kid in a phase where you're just a dick to everyone. I think like everyone has that phase when you're, when you're a younger kid. You're a little like frustrated like 10-year-old whose like parents just shit on you, so you just decide to tell some faggot on YouTube to go kill himself.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny. But it would be different if it was directly towards my business, which Brian gets a lot.
Okay. I said the
That's
HB.
it, man.
That was my way of not
Well,
saying
that's
it
your
directly.
way of directly saying it to everyone
Not
who
directly.
might listen to this.
Yeah, the
That's
0
very
people who are
direct.
watching right now.
Yeah, but that's
later.
alright.
So, transition. Do you have any other projects in mind?
What I want to do is Scaleless and Palmetto.
Scaleless.
But you haven't seen the fucking mutant-looking, disgusting motherfuckers that come out of the Scaleless.
Oh, no,
Like I'll show you. No, not like
Mm-hmm.
genetically mutant, just like not attractive. Like
Again, I don't
you've seen all the attractive ones.
know if I want you to show me this.
Um,
Where's Jamie when you need him?
Jamie? Oh, young Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie. Joe Rogan
Joe
plug.
Rogan plug that no one needs because he gets like 10 million.
Yeah, he
Fucking
needs
listens.
no plugs. But
He needs no
I
plugs.
just like Jamie. Jamie, hit me up.
Yeah, we don't need a. We're not on the level to have a Jamie yet. Now I'm gonna try to find, but like they come out with a different degree of scaleless. They're not perfectly scaleless.
Oh, no,
See the scaleless ball python.
Like in my head, I can't.
I think I just saw one put one up today on the classifieds. And so they come out with a different degree of scalelessness, so they're not completely scaleless. Oh, here's one. This one's pretty cool, actually.
No, it's not.
Anery tessera. It's just kind of a fuzzy looking, right?
It's not that cool. Its eyes are fucking huge.
See, but this is what they look like, and now you're saying that you don't like them.
I've seen other scaleless that I shouldn't like that one.
Yeah, but I don't think you took a good enough look, because that's what they look like, dude. Did the other ones already get sold or something? Oh, I'm not actually in the group. I'm not too good at this Facebook thing. But yeah, so they come out a different degree of scaleless, so you may have some with like some scales around their head. If you look close, they're not that. They're kind of odd looking. But I do really like the Anery scaleless.
Mm-hmm.
The snow scaleless kind of looks like a
Didn't
wrinkly dick.
the guy have snow scaleless?
No, you didn't see any snow scaleless.
He had snows. They just weren't scaleless.
Yeah.
I mean, the snows even without scaleless, they look like a shaved mouse. Because they're pink, they don't just look like a mouse without fur or hair.
Yeah, I mean, it gets. They start looking really weird. So snow, scaleless, corn. They're kind of wrinkly and fucking. But I do like all the scale. Like I think the Anery looks the best so
There's
far.
a bunch of different variations of it. Yeah, those look like the guys. They look like a mouse without hair.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pinky
Or
mouse.
like
You
it's
can
like the
see.
inside.
You can see
Yeah,
every
it
little
just looks like the
wrinkle.
inside, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do? I like that.
This must be like a salmon snow. So just lime bread
But
for
the
the pink.
Aneries, I like the Aneries.
Yeah, this is an Anery right
Yeah.
here. It's super cool. It's like purpley.
So you said you wanted to do scaleless palmettos, though, right?
I don't know, because some mutations are just on the scale level.
Oh.
So they don't go all the way down to the skin, because this is just revealing what's under the skin.
Google scaleless palmettos.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's made one yet, but how fucking cool is that?
I
To scale
got
this up?
one.
See, the Okatees even are really cool when they're normal. See, they're like very red and orange,
Mhm.
and then have very defined black around, just like regular Okatees, which this is a regular Okatee. But it looks really cool, like scaleless just...
I like the scaleless. It kind of just looks like, I don't even know the words to describe it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a... I feel like I should be more... But there's no one really putting their stuff out there in corn snakes as much as in ball pythons. If someone fucking farts, you hear about it. So
It's weird how, I mean, it's to me, like some scaleless, I feel like it looks like an almost completely different snake. And then other ones, it's still similar.
well, because the scales around the face, a lot of them make up a lot of the look of the snake.
Okay.
So it changes completely, like face shapes of stuff.
Those don't look very different.
Yeah, I don't see. All I see is palmettos with scales. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it hasn't. Maybe it hasn't been done yet, but I'm sure it will be. You know, if I start doing it, I would need at least 3 years before I'm
Really?
creating hats,
what is
double
that
hats.
One? Oh, that one.
Blood red pied side.
Oh, it was pied.
Yeah, so in colubrids, a lot of time the pied, or in a lot of snake species, the pied actually comes up on the sides.
That's
So
interesting.
it doesn't really, like the ball pythons, it's like color, pure white color again.
At the NARBC, it was like sections, like a section of color.
Yeah,
section
that's
of
how
white.
it comes out on
This
ball
is like
pythons.
top half colored, bottom half.
And then it creeps up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it goes in blood red, it's really cool because it's such a
like
distinction.
that. How much would that cost you?
Probably like $200. I'm not 100% sure, but they're cheap. But yeah, so there's a lot of fucking. There's a lot of projects that are really cool.
Wait, go back up. Okay. What is that?
It's a black rat snake. It looks like some type of wild caught pied thing.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like it has some shit in it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have like a little TV behind us showing what we have on the computer or something.
We have to get that's what multiple cameras are. So
Right.
you can show the screen and us.
Yeah.
There would be no way. I don't know how we would do that.
I don't know. I'm not
It's
a
above our pay grade.
What were we saying before now? But you see, they keep the ventral scales, the corns.
Oh,
So like ball pythons don't.
Right, you don't.
So
see
they're
that.
kind of like don't really put the ground perfectly. They kind of slide all over the place.
Because they're softer.
Yeah.
But these
keep them, so it's a fully functioning snake.
In that other one, I already forgot what it was called. The red one, it didn't go back.
The pied
That
sided?
wasn't scaleless though.
No, it wasn't
Sorry,
scaleless.
never mind. That's so interesting to keep it right in the middle.
Yeah, just the ventral scales in the bottom.
What does ventral mean?
Just the bottom.
Ventral means bottom?
Like where their vent is.
I mean,
Or they're called belly scoots. I hate when because I haven't it's been so long. Like I just say shit, and it's been so long since I know for sure.
This will help you in making my cheat sheet that I've been asking you about, so I can know.
Yeah, so extend from the underside of the body, from the neck to the tail.
What is the opposite ones called?
And then I think they're.
What's the opposite ones called?
Oh, I don't remember. Dorsal scales.
Got it.
So there's ventral, but I think they're individually called belly scoots. Is that correct?
It's not how you supposed to do it, but okay.
Well, that's how they spell it. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I kind of forget some of the. Sometimes my mind is on science mode, and and I read a bunch of books about snakes and stuff, and all that stuff, and getting really into the science of it. And then other times it's in business mode, and then I just and it kind of goes on and off. So it's sometimes I'm really into just reading all the books I have about snakes and the scientific side, and reading when I worked at the hospital we had the databases, so I read a lot of studies of snakes and stuff like that. So so sometimes I get really into that, and other times I would get really into just